Okay, it's May the 24th, Thursday, and I've been over here by the grinder, running this grinder. You can see it in the background, maybe running over here, grinding some tools. I've been pretty much working all week on these tools, grinding them. Let me show you one of the tools that I've been working on today. This is see if I can get the focus. This is a form tool of some sort to make some kind of a port. Not really sure what kind of a port it makes, but it's 7/8 diameter solid carbide, 4 inches overall, and they give me the dimensions of this. I just got to grind it to their dimensions. So I've been working on these tools, and I posted some other ones on Instagram yesterday, so you may have seen those. And I forgot about something here. Somebody sent me a gun drill, a piece of tooling. It was Perfectionist 2032 is the name. I guess that's their YouTube channel's name or something. And at the time I received it, which was a while back, like 2 months ago or so, I didn't really have a job for it, but a job's come up. And this is the ideal tool for the job, except that I'll need more than one of them, but this will certainly help me get started. So thank you, Perfectionist 2032. And also, I didn't realize that, I don't know if you can see that Sandvik makes gun drills. I've never used a Sandvik gun drill before, so we'll see how that works out. So thank you, Perfectionist 2032, for that. And also, the end of last week, something else happened. Remember at the beginning of the year, I talked about monetizing this YouTube channel, and I sent in all the information for that. Or well, you don't really send it in, you just, click the monetizing thing, and if you have enough, well, right in the end of April, I think it was, they changed the requirements, but I easily met the requirements. I had like, at the time, I don't know how many, I had like 300,000 or 400,000 minutes of view time and over 12,000 subscribers, and the minimum is 4,000 minutes and 1,000 subscribers, so I easily met the requirements. But for some reason it took them all until, I think it was Saturday, that they actually approved my channel. So I don't know what was with that, and if that's normal or not, I don't know. But then you have to hit a $100 threshold on AdSense in order to set up the account for where they pay you, and as of right now I'm at $97.33, so a day or two more and I'll be able to fill in the payment options on that. And if this is any indication, I should make like $300 or $400 a month, which is going to help pay for some of this new camera and video equipment that I've purchased to help make these videos a little better. So that's happened. And what else is going on here? This video is going to be about a continuation on this little camera case, the GoPro Hero6 camera case. And I have a new idea for the air knife deal, which, by the way, thanks for all the good response and ideas on the air knife video. I think it was 2 videos ago. A lot of good ideas, and of course I can't try everything, but I want to try to keep it simple. This idea I'm going to show you is pretty much like the Hero 4 case I made. It's going to work on the same principle. It's going to blow straight across the lens cover, if you will, and that worked pretty good for the other camera, and I think it'll work for this alright too. We're going to try that first. There was an idea of the spinning, well, quite a few people gave the idea of the spinning disc type of thing, which is like the normal thing like they put on ships' windows and machines, tools and things, and that's a great idea, but it's a little bit hard to implement in this small of a size, and in the coolant, the environment of the machine is a pretty dirty environment with hot shavings and coolant and oils and everything, and so, not that that's a bad idea, it could probably be made, but I'm trying to keep this kind of simple as possible. And also I don't want the noise of a mechanism which might be caused by a motor or an air turbine thing or something running that disc. And then there's the idea like they use in automotive applications like racing cars, where they have this turning drum. I think they use a plastic drum around the camera, and they have these wipers on either side, and they rotate it slowly. And that idea actually, to me, has more promise than the high-speed spinning disc idea, except that plastic wouldn't work in the machine because the hot shavings would hit it and damage the plastic, but a glass tube might work. So I might eventually try that idea. I don't know if this doesn't work good enough, but I think this idea is going to work. You'll see in the beginning of this video what I'm talking about. So that's what's kind of going on here, and I've got a few interesting jobs coming up on the Mazak that are going to be kind of detailed, and I think you'll be interested in seeing that. But like I say, this video is just going to be on going further along with the back of this camera case, and I haven't as of yet made this new air knife idea. And thank you for all the new subscribers and all, you know, all the nice comments everybody's been giving on the videos. And I think according to my analytics, my retention factor, I guess they call it, or some, I think that's what they call it, is improving. And so I think this channel's doing pretty good now. So thanks for that, and if this is your first video, please subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get to the machine work. Here's my latest idea on the GoPro case. Is to redo this front bezel area so that it works like my original idea. It's more or less the same. This would just mount on the front of the case as I've built it right now. So if we hide the various components of that, this is the original case that had the round air knife thing on the front of it, and we just mount this on the front here. And the way this works is, let me select this here, and we'll cut a section through here. So the way this works is the air comes up through this in this fitting down at the bottom here. I'll put like a barbed hose fitting of some sort in there, the pipe thread, and it'll come out here, and it blows through this there's a very thin gap. On the first one, I put just a piece of Mylar packing tape and cut out the inside of it here so the air would blow through it. It left a gap of about 2.5, maybe 3/1000ths of an inch. So the air will flow down and around this radius and down across the lens cover and then out here. And this will work very similar to my original one I made for the GoPro Hero6 case. So this is the latest idea on this case I'm going to try, and we're going to see how this works. Here's the start of the rear frame that holds the window on the body of the case. Just facing the bar off square. Come back here and mill out the outside shape of the part. I'm actually going deeper here than is really necessary for the part, but you'll see later on why I did that. So here's the 1/2 inch 4-flute end mill. Just taking out the bulk of the material. There's a lot of coolant here, but I really can't mill this without coolant. On that aluminum, it would load up that end mill and cause problems. So then change to a 1/4 inch end mill just to finish the walls right here, inside and outside. Come back with a spot drill for the hole for the screws. These are going to be 0.80 screws holding this back piece on, so they're pretty small screws. There's quite a few of them. For some weird reason, the CAM software put a kind of unusual path there. There's these 2 holes that are drilled later afterwards for some reason, but I just left it alone. Here's the clearance drill for the 080 screws. Come back with a countersink for the heads, and then compare it to the screw. Needed a little bit more, so ran the tool again. And then check it again. It seemed alright, so I ran it all the way around. It's kind of hard to touch up a countersink tool because the point doesn't come to a real sharp point, and you have to kind of fiddle with the offset a little bit to get it the right diameter. So that's the countersink. And there's a little chamfer on the OD just to break the corner off. And here's the 5-axis move just to cut this chamfer on the ID. I didn't have a chamfering tool and I didn't want to grind one with the appropriate angle, so I did it this way. And here's the reason that I had to cut the extra clearance there. You can see that arbor would have hit the round bar on that saw if I hadn't milled it away. So that's a little frame piece, I guess you could call it, that is going to hold the plastic window on the back of the case. It looks kind of like it's warped here, but I think it's the wide angle lens that's given that impression on that GoPro camera. And here's the back body of the that surrounds the camera. It's the beginnings, the same as the last one, really. Just face it off square and mill it down with a 1/2-inch end mill. It's almost the identical shape of the last piece. Actually, I think I did this piece before the other one, but I've got it out of sequence in this video. Here's the little dovetail O-ring groove tool. Cuts a dovetail on the inside of that groove so that the O-ring will stay in there. I was trying the O-ring in the groove to make sure everything fit right, and that it stuck out a little bit so it would seal. It looked good, so took it out, finished the rest of this off, 1/2-inch end mill, roughing off the back where those sort of like the hinge and the clamp boss are. And come in with a 1/4-inch end mill to finish the radiuses are smaller than the 1/2-inch end mill could do. And do a little surfacing there to cut an angle on the front of that boss there. Just trying the camera front piece. Went over to the horizontal mill to tap the 080 holes in the face that holds that little piece that holds the frame that holds the window on. So here, facing it off to dimension on the height, 1/2-inch end mill. And then come in and spot drill after I check the height is correct. Spot drill for the drill. Check to see if I got the right diameter. There's quite a few of these holes in the back of this thing, and I was a little bit nervous about tapping all those 080 holes in this thing. That's drilling with the tap drill for the 080 tap. Here's the 080 tap itself. I was putting oil and blowing it off on every hole. So a little bit nervous about breaking that tap, but it went all right. So except for a little deburr, that's actually the finished part there. And this was the easiest way to put the holes in the plastic. I just taped it onto the frame piece and then drilled the holes and then pulled it off. And then screwed it all together with all of these 080 screws. I can't remember how many screws there is in there, but there's quite a few. And that seems to be working alright. It seals alright. Like that's a piece of 10 thousandths thick Lexan material. And the screws put enough compression on it, it acts like its own gasket. I didn't even put any sealer or anything. I've been trimming off the excess with the scissors and the X-Acto knife. Okay, not too bad. See, the camera goes in here like that. And then it's going to clip underneath here and pivot together. See if I can operate the camera. Let's turn it on. Okay. Yeah, see, I can I don't know if you can see that or not. See if I can get closer. I can actually operate the screen through here, sort of. Did a second ago. Okay. I'm gonna actually run it over Wi-Fi, really, but looks pretty good. I could trim this off a little neater, but so this is how you get, you have to pivot it out like that. So that's it.